Hi, welcome back to Las Vegas and CSM 2014. I'm Jason Bellamy. All week we've been doing video dispatches like these to try and give people a sense of what's happening here at CSM. And it's appropriate that our last dispatch is related to social media, which is how you are probably accessing this video right now. We just got out of a panel discussion on the value of Twitter. I'm joined by Jerry Durham, who moderated that panel. I was a member representing APTA Tweets and Move4PT, APTA's primary Twitter accounts on social media. So Jerry, there was a wide-ranging discussion. It was a 2-hour discussion. We talked about a lot of different things related to value. Were there any major high points that kind of stuck out for you in terms of takeaway for people who were there?
Yeah, what really came out, I put this panel together, about 8-9 months ago. It was important that I represent many different components of physical therapy, because let's face it, when I first thought of it, it was like, oh, private practice, building your own brand, but it was like, no, it has to be about more than that. And I believed so we had education represented, we had APTA represented, we had private practice, we had acute care, we had, what else? Oh, we had a DPT student, and I think that really showed everybody in the room that there is value to all the groups of physical therapists, no matter what you're doing. So
yeah,
that really came out.
I agree. Yeah, that was reinforced over and over again. We had lots of questions about this specific area and that specific area, and really what we found the whole way around was that there was value in social media. So a lot of people sometimes are hesitant about social media. They don't want to get on it. They're not sure where to draw the line. Give me your, rather than try and summarize the panel, give me your advice to that person.
So I love Twitter, and that's all I do. I don't use Facebook. I use Twitter. It's short, it's concise, and Twitter is a place you can go and you can find people that you like, that you agree with, that maybe you look up to, and you can just follow them. You don't have to interact with them. They're going to share information that's beneficial to you. And there's so many great physical therapists out there, and there's so many great business people, and there's so many great educators that you're going to learn something if you go there, and you don't have to be interacting, to be honest.
Right, yeah, so if you're shy, you don't want, or you don't have the time maybe, and you just want to use that as a feed for information, it's valuable that way, right?
Yeah, you can set up, Twitter to feed you information just on certain things that you want to see. So you check it almost like an email, and you can schedule it. I'm going to check it every day from 8 to 9 and see the content that you want to see.
One of the other things we talked about was branding. Obviously, that would be really valuable for private practices, for example, who want to brand themselves that way. One of the pieces of advice I gave is you could always have a personal account for your professional interactions with PTs, maybe set up an account for your clinic to sort of represent, to talk to the consumer, because they might be different voices that you're using. But I really stressed on my side of it the importance of extending the physical therapy brand. Advertising is expensive. If everybody gets on board and promotes what physical therapy is and how that helps everybody. We have resources available to you at Move4PT and Move4PT.com, the website as well, and you can check out those resources related to that and the branding. We also talked about how you're really branding yourself all the time. You mentioned too making sure that your Twitter bio kind of says who you are. Talk about that personal branding and maybe how to sort of navigate that.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite things to talk about. I believe our profession, the key and the success of our profession is this right here. You and I talking. Right. We're looking at each other. Right. You're asking me questions and you're waiting for me to answer. So you want that to come out, and people want to know. I know they don't want to know all the ins and outs of their doctor and where their kids go to school, but they want to know them as a person. So you set that bio up and you use Twitter to let people know what you're about. Then you're representing the profession at the same time. And whether people are interacting with you or not, they see this person and then they see the profession. And so, if you're doing good things and maybe they think you're funny or they think you're smart or they like the SF Giants too, but there's that human connection there, and it's really, really important in my opinion.
And it's funny about that because it actually lines up, I didn't mention this in the panel, but it lines up with the idea of cultural competence too. I mean, you want to be personal, understand patients where they are, but patients want to understand who you are too and see that personality and value. So there's value there. So let's talk about maybe the elephant in the room. There's often a lot of fear about getting on Twitter because of the trolls, because of the person who is angry and aggressive, and there was lots of different thoughts on how to deal with that if somebody surfaces. What are your thoughts there?
I'm going to share my personal experience because actually one of the people I referenced in the talk showed up, so it was great to see him, and it was the first time I met him face to face. I've been on Twitter. I'm very opinionated. I know that Twitter is not the venue to have I'll call it argument. We can have a discussion, but once someone's going, you're wrong, you're saying I don't know this, it's not the place to do that. I've reached out to people privately and said, hey, can we have a conversation about this? Do you mind if we continue this offline? That's how I handle it. I mentioned in the panel, I don't unfollow people because I believe there's something to be learned. Even if they're setting a bad example, then I can see what not to do, to be honest. And if I want to engage someone, then I reach out personally. I don't continue the conversation on Twitter. And again, you can choose not to do anything with it, and you can unfollow them. So you know what? I don't want to be part of this. I don't want people to see I follow. And I know that's happened recently. I'm not even going to follow this person. And so you have a choice. You have choices, and you have full control. And again, you don't have to be engaging with everybody to have success on Twitter for you personally.
Right. I think that if there's maybe a bottom line too of the takeaway is we have to get past that idea that used to be there a couple years ago, which is that Twitter interaction is different. That somehow it isn't real interaction. It is real interaction. This interaction right now, which you're getting essentially through social media, it's a video posted to YouTube, shared on Twitter and Facebook. That's social media. That's the power and value of it right there. Jerry Durham, thanks for hosting the panel.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks for talking about this.
Participating.
Oh, absolutely. So to see other dispatches like this, you can go to ape.org/CSM/video. If you want to catch up with a sense of what that discussion was like, check out the CSM Twitter panel hashtag, CSM Twitter panel. Lots of stuff there. If you want to see things that were talked about all week here in Las Vegas, check out the CSM 2014 hashtag. It's really been robust right there. Get social. It's really been robust. We had more than 11,000 attendees here in Vegas. It's been an amazing conference. So thanks for watching. I'm Jason Bellamy. Catch you next time, and see us at Next in Charlotte. We'd love to see you there. Bye.